I'm Kayleigh McEnany and for Laura Ingram, and this is a special edition of the Ingraham Angle from New York City tonight. What we saw last night should have solidified the message that Democrats shouldn't just be scared, they should be terrified. The Bronx is supposed to be a major Democrat stronghold. Remember, Biden got 84.4% of the vote, and yet thousands flocked to see one man, Donald J. Trump.
I believe that we can win New York State. We have levels of support that nobody's seen before. I mean, look at this. Our country is going to be very successful, and people are going to come together.
He has the guts to come and show that he's not afraid. He's not afraid to come to a Democratic area, and it shows that he's here for us. We must work together as a team to win. You are proud patriots. You love this. You love this city, you love this state, and you love our country. You live in a blue city, but it's going red very, very quickly.
Can you imagine Biden getting a crowd like that anywhere in the country? I couldn't. The city is changing, but Democrats are desperately trying to claim otherwise.
New York City's blue. Brooklyn is blue, Queens is blue, the Bronx is blue, and he's got nowhere to go. He's broke, busing people in order to get those donations so that he can funnel them to his legal fees is kind of his business right now.
So Trump was busing people into the Bronx. That's what AOC told us. Well, she probably didn't expect to get fact-checked from none other than CNN.
Certainly a bigger crowd than I think Democrats would like to see, particularly given this is one of the bluest counties in the entire country. I've gone to a lot of these rallies across the country, and there are often people who travel hundreds of miles to see Donald Trump, and they're not necessarily part of the community. However, one of the things that I found was that there were a lot of people here that were actually from the Bronx.
That was a little hard to hear her. The YMCA music was admittedly loud. Maybe we'd rather listen to that than the CNN reporter. But she said, no, there were Bronx residents there. There were thousands. And look, we're seeing this all across the country. We're seeing this in blue states. We're seeing this in swing states. In fact, Trump isn't just winning the traditional swing states. A New Hampshire Journal poll shows that the race is a statistical tie. That was a state carried by Biden by more than 7 points in 2020. Of course, we're speaking of New Hampshire. In Virginia, several polls have shown a tight, sometimes margin of error race, despite Biden carrying the state by double digits in 2020. Trump is putting new states in play, but he's doing something far bigger than picking off a state here or there. No, Trump is remaking the Republican Party. He's creating a diverse, thriving, robust political movement that's narrowing the map for Joe Biden. It's the Rust Belt or bust. That's what Steve Shepard of Politico wrote. While polls broadly show Biden continuing to fall behind former President Donald Trump in swing states across the country, listen to this. He writes, they consistently show the older, whiter states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin as the most competitive for Biden. Trump, meanwhile, has larger leads in the Rust Belt states, in large part owing to Biden's loss of support with young voters. And listen to this, voters of color. In Nevada, a state that a Republican presidential candidate has not won in almost 20 years, Trump leads by 5.3% on average. And in Arizona, Trump has a healthy 4.1% advantage. These leads are fueled by voters of color joining the Trump movement, and sometimes even lifelong Democrats.
You used to vote Democrat. This year, that's going to change.
It is. I think that the cost of living has spiraled out of control. I don't see Biden doing anything about it. And also, there's an influx at the border that needs to be dealt with. And I think that Trump is the man to do it.
Anti-Trump people in my neighborhood are coming to vote for Donald Trump because they believe in economic success and they believe in lowering crime.
Last time around, you voted for Joe Biden. This time around, you're going to vote for Donald Trump. Why?
Absolutely, because Donald Trump already showed me that he understands our problems. He understands what the country needs. He has the heart to do it.
Please accept this Democrat, this black Puerto Rican. Please accept my endorsement for you as a president. Thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.